Joburg Open started way back in 2007. That's when we hosted our inaugural tournament. But plans and preparations had started around 2005 when our former mayor, Councillor Amos Masondo, received a proposal from the guys from Easy Golf saying they want to partner with the city to host an international golfing tournament. And we are here today celebrating 10 years of golf, of great golf experience. It is a perfect destination because one, we are an economic hub of South Africa, but secondly, in terms of the facilities that we have, the city of Johannesburg has solid infrastructure. The golf courses that you find in Johannesburg, even though most of them are not owned by the city, but they form the foundation of the infrastructure that is available. But secondly, we are able to host a number of international sporting codes in the same space. The response has been phenomenal because the number of tickets that people have bought, the number of guests that have been invited to the tournament, the inquiries that we've received, people wanting to know where to find the tickets, and we've said to everybody, if you have access to the internet, you go to www.ticketpro.co.za and you buy your tickets. If you don't have access or you don't have time, you're welcome to come to the golf course at our welcome center. A daily ticket is 50 rand, a season ticket is 120. You come, you watch the tournament, and people are going to be witnesses the best golfers playing. For the first time in the 10 years, as part of our highlights, we have NELs. NELs hasn't played in Johannesburg in a number of years. On his own, he's decided, I'm playing the Joburg Open, which is a highlight for us. When we started in 2007, the commissioner of the Sunshine Tour then was Johan Immelman. His son, Trevor Immelman, is playing the Joburg Open for the first time. And if I may take a few steps back and say in 2008, if not 2009, Retief Goosen played this tournament, performed to the highest level. On hole number 18, he shot an albatross. And for a number of golfers know there is something called an albatross, but they've never witnessed it. This tournament claims that spectacular to say we have had an albatross at the Joburg Open. The scores that Richard Stanley scored in 2013, shooting 260 over 4 days, it is amazing. That record still stands today. We don't know what's going to happen by Sunday. Maybe somebody will beat it, but personally, I don't think so.
I think I have the prestige honour of being the BMW South African Open champion that was hosted at Glendower. And also I've played the Joburg Open a few times, both as an amateur and a professional, which is quite unique for me. And I've always enjoyed it. I've always loved the vibe in Joburg, and the city itself is always buzzing and there's always something to do, and it keeps life interesting, which is a lot of fun for me. Right now I just want to play some decent golf. I haven't set many goals. I haven't had time to. Been losing a few hours of sleep over the last few nights, which is not a bad thing to have. But I feel like if I can just go out there tomorrow and enjoy myself with anyone else next to me, it's going to be quite fun, and hopefully I can get a few good rounds together.
This on its own is an international tournament because it is co-sanctioned by both the European Tour and the Sunshine Tour. It stands on its own in the sense that in 2014, the Royal and Ancient, who are the custodians of golf rules in the world, took a decision to say all the qualifying series of the oldest major, being the Open Championship, instead of them being hosted all over, they created the Open Qualifying Series. In 5 continents, they have a number of tournaments. Africa is represented by the Joburg Open, but the only tournament in the African continent that has this prestige of being part of this qualifying series. And as a result, 3 of our top finishers, if they're not already exempted, are going to play in this major. In the past, you'd have people winning other major tournaments or other bigger tournaments being the only ones who are able to qualify for the Open. But through this change, we're then able to have a tournament that has been staged for 10 years, also claiming its stake in this major championship. When we started in 2007, the city took a decision that we need to have, for each and every project, starting from the World Cup, we need to have legacy projects that are linked to all these major projects. And as a result, out of the Joburg Open, we developed a driving range outside the Alexander Township in Lombardy. We have gentlemen who are looking after the youngsters that go to school in the greater Alexander area. They teach them golf over the weekends, during school holidays, and when we have the tournament, we then take the very professional golfers who are participating in this tournament. They spend time with our learners, emphasizing what the golfers from Alex are doing. And as a result, we're saying to these youngsters, yes, if we're able to produce another professional golfer, so be it. But this sport teaches these youngsters discipline, timekeeping. It teaches them that other than playing on the greens and the fairways, there are other career opportunities that are available within the golfing sector that they can be able to look at. We're basically, through golf, developing holistic individuals, and that is what the tournament has done over the years. If you look at the number of amateurs that are now playing golf, the black middle class that is emerging, there are a number of golfers that are playing. Yesterday, for argument's sake, we had a Pro-Am where amateurs and professionals played together. We had a field, on both fields, we had 240 golfers, 180 amateurs and 60 professional golfers participating. We had 240 caddies. That on its own says the level of golf is beginning to grow, the color of golf is beginning to change, but we're in the process of taking it a step further to say it cannot be growing in the circles of social golf only. We are working with the Sunshine Tour and the South African Golf Development Board, where youngsters are being nurtured. We are going to be having 4 amateurs that are going to be participating with this tournament. We have Karabo Mokoena, Dylan Naidu, Marco Stein, and James Dupre. Those 4 amateurs are going to be teeing off in this tournament with professional golfers, because in the past we had 2 young golfers from Soweto, Sipho Bujela and Musualo Netunzi. They came from the ranks through development. We took them into the Joburg Open. They played as amateurs. Today they're playing as professional golfers. And the 4 youngsters that I mentioned that are playing as amateurs this year, we are looking at them as the future of golf.
I've always wanted to be one of the greats, one of the great pros. Wanted to win a lot of majors. One that I really love to win is the British Open. And because of that, only else won two or three British Open majors, and I'm a part of his foundation, so it would be really great to follow in his footsteps. Recently, I've been trying to get my swing back into shape because of my matric. I played like 3 tournaments last year only, so it's been a really rusty start for this year, but it's getting better. The O'Neillson Fancode Foundation has made it really easy for me because they pay for almost everything. The big tournaments, which cost like 10,000 Rand per tournament, and they've covered everything from accommodation, food, transport, entries, everything. They've paid for my school, paid for my coaching, which has helped a lot, and my equipment. They've really helped me with my equipment, so it's been a privilege as a black golfer to be a part of it. Advice I'd give them about staying in the sport. Getting into the sport easy, but staying would require a lot of patience, hard work, dedication. Obviously that comes along with passion. If you have passion, you're willing to work hard for it, but if you find yourself like not getting the results, patience would be the key element. Just think about, have a picture in your head of where you want yourself. Give yourself a realistic goal of about 10 months to get that one thing going, and as soon as it comes, you'll find all the others fall into place. So yeah, and push on from there.
Young emerging golfers, it is not a quick win. The process is slow, but it is getting there, because golf transformation, we have no choice. It has to happen. The color of golf is going to change, but we need support from business, we need support from families. Parents need to be able to support their children. These kids, they need coaches, they need psychologists, they need sponsorship for them to be able to compete at the level at which other professional golfers are competing at. Racism is beginning to raise its ugly head. That is one subject that I don't want to bring into the space of the tournament. But we are not going to neglect the past. It is the agenda of the city for us to be able to transform this golfing space and have more players of color being able to participate in these global platforms. My satisfaction for us to be able to say this has been a worthy exercise. The day a black child lifts the Joburg Open trophy, I would know it might take us the next 10 years, but the day it happens, we would be able to say the decision that the city of Johannesburg took was a worthwhile decision.